Let's get to Drake, The Heart Part 6 with lyrics, the Kendrick Lamar diss.
Now let me see you prove it. Just let me see you prove it.
All right.
Do Kendrick Lamar not like Us again? No, because it was too much of a banger. But also on top of that, I literally did it already, okay? I did.
The Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. I got your fucking lines tapped, I swear that I'm dialed in. First I was a rat, so where's the proof of the trial then? Where's the paperwork of the cabinet is filed in? 1090 Jake would've took all the walls down. The streets would've had me hiding out in a small town. My Montreal connects stand up, not fall down. The ones that you getting your stories from, they all clowns. I am a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor and decoration. You waited for this moment, overcome with the desperation. We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information. A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. We thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but you so thirsty, you not concerned with investigation. Instead, you in that Venice studio, it's a celebration. You gotta learn to fact check things and be less impatient. Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration. Even the picture you use, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation. Master manipulator, you bid on a speculation. You dumb and reactive, nigga, I'm petty with dedication. What about the bones we dug up in that excavation? And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? Why is she following Dave Free and not Mr. Morale? You haven't seen the kids in 6 months, the distance is wild. Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child. Speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now. This Epstein angle was the shit I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected. Instead of being on some disdirect.
Listen. I'm this is the last time I'm gonna pause it. We're doing one full go, and then I'm gonna move on to dissecting it. And I have a lot of fucking opinions on it because I've already heard it a million times since last night. It is such unimaginable doo-doo, like in so many different ways. I think like okay, I don't want to give in it. Hold on.
Shit, you rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit. My mom came over today and I was like, mother I, wait a second.
This part especially.
That's that one record where you say you got molested. Oh, fuck me, I just made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with is so excessive. They acting like it's so aggressive, but you just never known affection. I don't wanna dish you anymore. This really got me second guessing. Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting. I never been with no one underage, but now I understand why this the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested.
Why? Why would you say those words? Why would you do this? Bro, I am now convinced that not only is there an OVO mole, the motherfucking mole is a ghostwriter, bro. I'm letting you know, my opinion is, not only is there actually an OVO mole, okay, it's actually one of the ghostwriters, the guy who put that fucking line in there, okay? There ain't no fucking way, big dog, no shot. The fact that, like, there's not a single person in his crew that turned around and were like, hold up, what? Aubrey, maybe you shouldn't put this in there, you know? Aubrey, this is going to look bad. If you put this in there, like that makes things worse for you. Okay?
I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested, but that's not the lesson. Clearly there's a deeper message. Deep cuts that never healed and now they got infected. Like if Dave really fucked your girl and got her pregnant. Talk about breeding resentment. Not sure how to ease the sentiment. The shit's too intimate. I'm praying you recover from both incidents.
This part is so extra lame too. God damn, dude. Oh God, he's like trying to be like Kendrick Lamar and fucking failing. Okay? Just absolutely failing. Oh my God. He's like, oh, I feel sad for you, really. I feel sad for you. Oh God, I'm so sad for you.
But you a piece of shit, so this shit really no coincidence. Drake is not a name that you gon' see on no sex offender list. Easy does it. You mentioned an A minor, but niggas gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it. You thought you left D flat, D major. I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross hair like that one flight from Malaysia. I'm your baby mama screensaver. Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Browns. I never look twice at no teenager. I'm a fucking hit maker, dawg, not a peacemaker. Yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber. Your ass in extreme danger. Stop buying views and buy comments. You may as well keep the paper. Shit you about to need for later. I give a fuck about your streaming data. You could drop 100 more records. I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe when you meet your maker. I don't wanna fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature. If you still bumping R. Kelly, you could thank the savior. Said if they deleted his music, then your music is going to a hypocrite. I don't understand why these people praise you. Sounding like you sent him commissary when he needs some paper. Album dropping soon, no wonder you turn a clout chaser instead of doing hard labor. Nigga, I see you when I see you like Fantasia. Whitney, you can hit me if you need a favor. And when I say I hit your back, it's a lot safer.
If Drake losing, why he got double the views on YouTube and still in #1 in trending? You're right. That's why he's winning, dude. Because he said, I am not a pedophile. I am okay, Drake Riders, just hold it. Just hold it. Just hold it in, please. Just hold it in. We'll get to you in a second.
I promise. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, this shit was some good exercise. Like, it's good to get out, get the pen working. You would be a worthy competitor if I was really a predator and you weren't fucking lying to every blogger and editor, but it is what it is. You definitely got this shit burnt the fuck out though. Like, you got 10 more records to drop. The one before the last one, we finessed you into telling a story that doesn't even exist. And then you go and drop the West Coast one and try and cover that up. I would like that one. That would be some shit I could dance to if you wasn't tripling down on some whole other bullshit. But, you know, at least your fans are getting some raps out of you. I'm happy I can motivate you, bring you back to the game, like, you know. But just let me know when we're getting to the facts. Everything in my shit is facts. I'm waiting on you to return the favor, like.
Okay. Kendrick make Drake stop rapping. So what? 607K likes, 707K dislikes. I don't care about the like to dislike ratio. I am not that much of a fucking Kendrick dick rider. Okay? I don't care. Drake's The Hard Part 6 now has more dislikes than likes on YouTube, while Kendrick's Not Like You is cruising with just a 1% dislike rate. So this kind of stuff is ultimately meaningless. I do care about one thing, I will say. I care about this. The fact that he really did do this.
I didn't realize it was even a conversation. I always assumed we would be heavily involved.
This is bad. We gotta definitely write a song about how we do not diddle kids. Do not diddle kids. It's no good diddling kids.
There is no quicker way for people to think that you are diddling kids than by writing a song about it.
You gotta write a song that says, ooh, I wouldn't do it with anybody younger than my daughter. No little kids, gotta be big, older than my wife, older than my daughter, something like that.
Don't write a song about that.
No, I'm cloudy. I got a headache.
I didn't realize it.
You're just rehashing Mike's stream sometimes. Central Committee, Mike from PA. Am I capable of the foresight of tweeting this 2 days prior? And then relitigating it last night, retweeting it last night, only to have Michael from Pennsylvania bring it up this morning? If that's what he did? Anyway, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. He called the bullshit out and asked him to prove it while simultaneously asking him to respond to the allegations. What do you want him to do? Here's what he shouldn't have done. I think there's possibly a way of mentioning that these allegations are not real, even if you're Drake, even though you're Drake and the allegations are that you have more grooming accusations than a fucking Minecrafter. Okay? As I said yesterday in the Discord. I mean, holy shit. And pretty solid allegations, as a matter of fact, too. I'm not even talking about like some rad lib shit. Like he has like a litany of very legitimate allegations of grooming, specifically on the model, the 17-year-old that he kissed on stage after finding out that she was 17. That one model that he attended the Sweet 16 of, only to fucking turn around. I mean, here, this is a pretty solid thread here. We can go through it again. 23-year-old Drake kissing 17-year-old fan at a concert in 2010. He asks, "You're 17? Why do you look like that? You thick. Look at all of this." That girl literally was brought there by her father, by the way. I saw she like posted about this and said that she didn't care or she didn't mind it at all, while simultaneously saying, "My daddy brought me to the fucking concert."
Yeah, right. What is it? It's just like herbal essences. Smells fresh.
Drake has zero grooming allegations. Where are your receipts? Bro, I'm getting to it, man. I'm fucking getting to it, dumbass. I'm fucking getting to it. Similar to Rick and Morty, J. Cole's music requires a higher than average IQ to fully appreciate. If you can't understand that this is fucking sarcastic, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you know this is a joke, right? Like, the joke is like, oh, you don't appreciate Rick and Morty. You don't have a high enough IQ to appreciate Rick and Morty. Like, I'm making that same joke about J. Cole's music. Are you guys that dense? Like, you think that this is... So an R-worded 23-year-old who's testosterone driven is a groomer now? Isn't this just going with the flow of Kendrick's narrative? Chat, that's just one instance. Can you fucking calm your goddamn jets? Can you keep your dick in your fucking pants? Okay? He's a 23-year-old artist on stage at his own fucking concert, finding out that a girl is 17 years old at his concert, and this is what he did. He said, "Oh man, I get carried away with this kind of stuff. Like, I'm gonna get in trouble with this with shit like this. How old are you?" She says 17. He said, "Oh hell no." I can't go to jail yet, man. You're 17. Why do you look like that? Look at all this.
Well, listen, 17. I had fun. I don't know if I should feel guilty or not, but message. I just want to thank you. Jazz wants to take back and sing to you.
Anyway, number 2, Haley Baldwin. Enough said. Rumors of Drake, 29, and Haley Baldwin, 19, dating began circulating after they've been seen very affectionate at the Memorial Day May party in 2016. She went to the party with Madison Beer, who shared the video. He used to hang out with like the fucking entire Bieber squad. Okay? Literally the entirety. Madison Beer was 17 at the time. Haley Baldwin was 19 at the time, legal age. And he would literally routinely fucking hang out with them, including with, was it Kendall or Kylie? One of them. They were spotted having dinner together at a restaurant the next day. They reportedly went home together at 2:30 a.m. Drake was wearing Haley's H necklace on his way out. During this time, Haley did an interview with E! Where she reveals she knew Drake for about 4 years. This means that Drake met her when he was 25 and she was 15. They frequently spent time together while Haley was underage, even inviting her to his 28th birthday while she was 17. This is where the grooming allegations are originating from. It's all... Baldwin opened up about their friendship on the red carpet at the iHeartRadio Much Music Video Awards, telling the two have been friends for about 4 years. I've known Drake for a long time. I don't know if people really know that.
What is a secret you kept from your parents? When I was 16, I said that I was like going out with my sister and we were just like going out to dinner and we went to the Drake concert instead. They never found out for like years, and then my sister and I ended up telling them when we were older.
He also attended Kendall Jenner's birthday party and captioned an Instagram photo with Ruby Rose, Phoebe Doll, and 18-year-old Haley. You know, if I could somehow buy a house in, say, I don't know, Jamaica, then we all ... in 2015. Number 3, Georgia Smith. Drake and Georgia Smith were first linked in early 2017 after she performed on his tour and was later featured on More Life. She was 19 and he was 30 at the time. Reports started to surface that they were dating after Drake was seen at a store at her hometown. Following year, he released Jaded and gave some details about the relationship. The lyrics described a young woman using him and being left jaded. He addresses the age gap and says, "You're old enough, but you're still a baby." Number 4, Millie Bobby Brown. Drake, wait, in that picture she looks drugged? Okay, calm down, chatters. It's just like, that one is not that fucked up. That one is not as fucked up. It's just the problematic age gap shit. Okay? Number 4, Millie Bobby Brown. Drake and 13-year-old Millie Bobby Brown first met at his concert in Brisbane, Australia. They both shared photos together of their meeting on social media in November 2017. Millie then posted this photo a week later, crediting Drake for taking the photo. Choose kindness. Heart. Drake. 2 photos later, during a Golden Globes after party, Drake and Millie posed for photos. Millie captioned the post with Drake, "Blessed to have my security be my number one, or my +1 at the Netflix party." According to reports, Drake, 31, and Millie, 13, spent the entire night together at the party. At the SAG Awards the same month, Millie was asked about her new friendship with Drake. In the interview, she says, "Drake is my man," and shares how exciting it was to meet him. Drake also wished her a happy 14th birthday. Okay? Millie posted a photo wearing Scorpion merch that Drake sent her a few months later. In the cover story for W Magazine, she goes into more detail about how exactly she met Drake. She says in the interview that she went out to dinner with him after his concert in November and that they text all the time.
Drake? He wants to see me? And I was like, okay, we're going. So I like got my outfit prepared. I went there and he was such a fanboy and I was such a fangirl that and honestly we text all the time now. He helps me with everything, like just life lessons. He's amazing. He's a great human being. And we went to dinner afterwards and we had dinner the next day and then we met in Sydney. Drake? Now,
one thing to consider is that Kendrick Lamar never even mentioned Millie Bobby Brown even though Drake certainly did in his song, in his diss, in his like retaliation titled, "I'm not a pedophile. I'm too famous to be a pedophile." That was the name of the song for all intents and purposes. Okay? Literally this. Kendrick, you're a pedo. Drake, you're lying. I'm not attracted to Millie Bobby Brown. Kendrick, who said anything about Millie Bobby Brown? Oh, that's funny. Okay. Let's continue. In September 2018, Millie revealed even more details about her friendship with Drake during an interview at the Emmy Awards. Bro, the award season brings out the yappers in people, okay? Every single minor who, is either still a minor at that time or like is no longer a minor, gotten older as time has passed, keeps yapping at these red carpets and just leaking details about how they love Drake and how they've been such great friends of Drake. Just to clarify, chat, there are ways adults should interact with minors. Teachers like me do so on a daily basis. What Drake is doing is very, very different and extremely creepy, highly inappropriate. Yes. Maintaining a contact with a 13-year-old is wild when you're like 30-something. Okay? Let's watch.
What about your relationship with Drake? Tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about?
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, "I miss you so much." I was like, "I miss you more." He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited. Yeah.
You and Drake? That's awesome. That's awesome.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys, he helps me.
What?
Yeah.
Does a picture of you with kids make you a pedo? What did this guy send me? Did you just send me a photo of me with my family? You just sent me a photo of me with my family, with my baby cousins. You actually sent me a photo of me with my family members. Bro, chill. What are you saying? How would anyone know? This proves the point. Do you think Millie Bobby Brown is first generation cousins with Drake? Do you think that means any? Do you think I just simply showed you a photo with Drake and his family members and said, "Wow, look at him standing next to a minor"? The sanest Drake supporter saying he is around kids doesn't make him a pedo. Yes. And that's precisely the reason why I am not making that argument. I am not simply saying Drake is around minors and photographed around minors all the time. That's not the argument at all. I don't think you understand this. And you turned around and showed, you thought that a photo of my family captioned, as you can see in the link, "family bonding time." Like the URL, it says family bonding time. The URL you linked. That is insane. For those of you who don't know, let me also mention something here. Do I have conclusive evidence that Drake is a pedophile? I do not. Do I know that Drake is a pedophile? I do not know. Do I at least think that Drake is definitely grooming teenagers and waiting in a very predatory way until they turn 18? And in certain instances have not waited till they turned 18 to at least kiss them? Yes, I do absolutely believe that, because I have seen it. That was crazy that chatter thought that was a decent counterpoint to what I am mentioning here. Fuck you mean you don't think he's a pedo. I don't have enough evidence to, like, beyond the memes and whatnot, say conclusively that Drake is a pedophile. I don't think that is far-fetched to say. I don't. I do, however, definitely think that, one, he might be, and two, certainly has enough evidence to point to him being a groomer, engaging in predatory behavior towards minors. I'm using my words carefully. Let's continue.
Yeah, he's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
So this part, for the record, like, as far as, like, even Millie Bobby Brown, the fact that she's 13, 14, when they first Hollywood Leech, but me? The fact that she's 13, 14 is insane. Like, it's just absolutely fucking insane. Okay? It's insane. Let's continue. Charlotte DeLazio and Madison Beer. In 2018, The Guardian put out an article where it detailed how Charlotte DeLazio became an Instagram sensation. Her mother explained in an article a story about Drake, 31, FaceTiming Charlotte, 18, and Madison Beer, 18. Bella Harris. This is one of the more damning ones. 18-year-old Bella Harris shared a photo with 31-year-old Drake while she was backstage at his concert, which sparked romance rumors. The caption said, "No place I'd rather be," with a heart. Drake reportedly shut down a restaurant for a private dinner for Bella in September 2018. She had just freshly turned 18. However, he had met Bella in 2016 when she was 16 years old, or sometime earlier. Here's a photo from when she was 16. She also wished Drake a happy 30th birthday, and he commented on the post. She was 16. Sydney Christine. Sydney Christine, who produced on Money in the Grave, said in an interview that Drake had been following her Instagram for 6 years. At the time of the interview, she was 22, which means Drake followed her when she was 16.
How did it come about? Okay, so, you know, like I told you, like the past 2 years, I've really been taking producing serious. So 2 years ago, Wise took it serious. The first person and really the only artist I reached out to was Drake.
Yeah, the 16-year-old was the week after her 16th birthday, the Bella girl. Not the closing up the restaurant. That was 18. She was 18 when he closed up the restaurant.
Never met him, like, never spoke to him. I don't know why he's been following me for the past, like, 6.
I defend you when people bring up fake metas about you with no proof. Brother, please understand something. Okay? Please understand something. The fake metas overall, this just shits on all the points from that Twitter thread you're yapping about, Hasan. The fake metas overall that people cultivate against me, and I have a litany of them, fall apart in the face of even a little bit of scrutiny. You are not hearing the words that are coming out of my mouth. I'm not saying I have conclusive evidence that Drake is a pedophile. I'm saying that there's definitely evidence that Drake was pursuing inappropriate relationships that were seemingly platonic on its face that turned away from being platonic suspiciously the moment that they reached the age of consent, implying that there is perhaps more to the conversation, perhaps, grooming comes to mind.
6 years. I don't know why, but
I'm sure we all can figure out. We all know why.
Yeah, I've never spoken to him, so let me just reach out, send him some beats. And then he was for it. He was like, all right, dope, send me some. Nothing happened. So then fast forward to this past Grammys. I ran into him. He was at the event. I wasn't even gonna go to this event. I'm not even the type to go out. I'm not really like that. So he come up to me, he was like, yo, you still make beats? I was like, yeah, but I was modeling. So I was like, yeah, I kind of do both. I've been balancing out, learning. He was like, all right, send me some. I sent him 10 pack. And then, a couple days later, he sent back Money in the Grave. But I didn't think it was gonna come out. I thought he was just being nice or whatever, giving me inspiration. And then it came out a couple months later, so yeah.
Was that the first time?
She further explained that Drake followed her, and this is very important to understand, because she played basketball in high school and he liked women's high school basketball and was already following her friend playing high school basketball and would go to the games.
Met him. Well, when did you first meet him?
So I played basketball, right? So he really was a fan of supported one of my teammates at the time. And
this is when you're in high school?
Yeah, in high school. So he was a fan of women's basketball, high school basketball. I was her teammate.
He was a fan of women's high school basketball. Is a statement being made that fully grown adult individuals are unironically looking to defend. As someone in the chat also mentioned, that's a brand new sentence. Okay? It's technically not even women's high school basketball because you're not a woman when you're in high school playing basketball. You're a girl. So it's actually girls' high school basketball. I mean, it's not weird if his 11-year-old daughter's going. That's a good one.
So he followed me because of her. And I was like, oh, shit, bitch, you got Drake to follow me? What the hell? That's so crazy.
Oh, my God.
He followed me, and I lost it. I'm like, I have to meet Drake. I love Drake. I've always loved Drake, still love Drake.
Okay, so the Drake.
Kylie Jenner and Drake were reportedly dating casually after her breakup with Travis Scott in 2019. She was 22 and he was 33 at the time. Fine, whatever, right? However, 6 years earlier, Drake performed at Kylie's 16th birthday party when he was 27. Kylie shared a photo of Drake kissing her on the cheek. Drake was 28 at the time. He posted a photo with Kylie, who was 17, on Instagram during his beef with Tyga. He captioned the photo, Kylie Jenner in the cut, and featured her in a music video this year. In an unreleased song that was played during an Instagram Live in May 2020, Drake referred to Kylie as a side piece. He claimed that it was a 3-year-old song, which would mean Kylie was 19 and Drake was 30 when he wrote it. Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish revealed in an interview that Drake was one of the famous contacts in her phone and that she texted him. Billie was 17 years old. Drake was 33. She also described him as the nicest guy she's ever met.
Drake, come on. Drake is the nicest dude I've ever spoken to. I mean, I've only texted him, but he's so...
Even if it ain't PDF filing, hard to dispute the grooming? Exactly. like the PDF file stuff is just like, obviously it's different when we're having a serious conversation about like, you know, criminal accusations. But like the amount of underage texting that he is engaging with is kind of wild. Now, obviously, this is a person who is not fond of Drake. And that's precisely the reason why he's like, you know, padding the stats with people that are at least over the age of 18, even no matter how close. Okay. So in order to be as physically charitable as possible, I'm not even going to mention this part. Okay. 21-year-old model. He's 35. Like the fact that he is like routinely texting 13, 14-year-olds and keeping contact with them, especially considering that like some of the girls that he's keeping contact with, some of the girls that he was keeping. What Drake's saying? I never looked twice at no teenager, but was excited when Billie Eilish was turning 18 is genuinely insane. I've been waiting. Wait, what? No, that's not real. This is fake. This is fake. This is fake. I don't believe this. There's no way he wrote that. That's absolutely fake. He might have just said like, oh yeah, that's great, you know, whatever underneath, but that's definitely fake. No, that's fake. I don't believe that shit. It's fake, actually. See? No, Drake did not shoot a shot with Billie Eilish on Instagram. There you go. See? I'm fucking fair. I'm fair. I'm fair. I'm fair. Now, there's all this stuff out here. Okay? There's all this shit going on. You know HasanAbi's being fair when both Kendrick and Drake fans go, the fuck you mean? Exactly. So, having said all of this, age of consent is 14 to 18, depending on where you are in EU. So you're arguing all Europeans are pedophiles? It's normal to be attracted to the opposite sex in the end of their puberty. Literally just natural. I'm going to ban you because I don't want you to defend Europe in general. And certainly not on those boundaries. Okay? Because you will come to a shocking realization if you were to know what my opinion is. But I'm sure, considering that you're an EU Andy, if you were to substitute Europe to, like, I don't know, insert name of Arabic nation, the Islamophobia would kick in quite easily, where you would probably develop a very different opinion. Europeans only know when something is grooming if it's like being launched in terms of accusations against the Muslim person. So maybe then he'll understand. Like, oh, dude, the age of consent in Saudi Arabia is 14. Are you saying that like people who engage in acts of you know, engage in sexual activities with 14-year-olds in Saudi Arabia are groomers? My answer would be consistent across the board. For those of you who are wondering, if you ever meet people that say stuff like that, you should ask them if they feel the same way. Considering that many European people will literally come to the conclusion themselves, will openly state that. Anyway. Half the time, by the way, in many of these countries, they have something similar to Romeo and Juliet laws that are, at least, it's a way for people to not get criminally prosecuted for like dating their girlfriends from high school when they themselves were in high school, but have now aged out of high school. Okay, there's a little bit of a difference when you are trying to use that as a justification for like a whole ass 30-plus-year-old adult texting fucking minors and waiting until they turn 18. Anyway. Saudi Arabia is 18, by the way, pretty sure. I don't know. I wasn't making a statement about Saudi Arabia in general. I'm just simply saying that if you were to ask them if they think it's fine for like any insert Muslim nation, that's why I said Muslim country. Even if it's not fucking real, they would very quickly perk up and realize what the fuck they're saying only because of their own personal Islamophobic tendencies. This does not make it right regardless. Anyway. So, where were we? So there's all this stuff, right? And that's one thing. That's one thing. But let's get back to the song. I don't really care about the dislikes or the likes or whatever. Oh my God. Chatters, please stop sending me the fucking Macklemore song. Please, I beg you, please. Murat şu kapıyı aç. Murat. Murat şu kapıyı aç. Çok sıcak. Chris locked me in here. Close the door because he doesn't want to hear me talk shit about Drake. All right. So let's get back to the start of the song. Let's run it back.
Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. I got your fucking lines tapped, I swear that I'm dialed in. First I was a rat, so where's the proof of the trial then? Where's the paperwork of the cabinet is filed in?
So, right off the bat, now that we listen to it, I'm going to pause. Right off the bat, he comes in hot with the Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. This is like the second time he's made a mention to Kendrick Lamar's Pulitzers. Pulitzer Prize winner opens his mouth, give him another award. And now Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. I think it's projection. I not only think it's projection, but I also think that it's something that definitely frustrates him because he keeps making mentions to it. I got your fucking lines tapped. I swear that I'm dialed in. First I was a rat, so where's proof of the child then? Where's the paperwork of the cabinet is filed in? So I think some of these lyrics are wrong, but regardless, it's just
the cabinet is filed in.
So then he makes a mention of 1090 Jake, the famous guy who's always like outing snitches or whatever. He's like one of those like white dudes that is in the Atom 22 orbit. Okay. And he's saying the fact that he's mentioning him is also kind of crazy. This is the lyrics are wrong. Okay. Accurate lyrics.
All right. The Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. I got your fucking lines tapped. I swear that I'm dialed in.
He's saying that I actually have your lines tapped. I know what your next move is. I'm dialed in. First I was a rat, making an inference to the 2010 case where there was a robbery that Drake was involved in potentially, where that actually led to the arrest of another Toronto rapper. Okay, so that's what the fuck he's talking about there. Or 2009. There is a half-baked legitimacy to these claims. In 2009, Drake was robbed outside of New Ho King, a small Chinese restaurant in the late-night staple in Toronto. His cooperation with the police led to the arrest of fellow Toronto rapper by the name Sizzlack. With this situation rippling into the Toronto rap scene, it led many of Drake's fans and peers to question his street cred. Kendrick rehashed conversation around these events by name-dropping New Ho King and seemingly mocking Drake for being robbed in his diss track Euphoria. I be at New Ho King eating fried rice with a dip sauce and a blammy crody. Drake goes on to mention a well-known media personality, 1090 Jake. Jake is notorious for researching court paperwork of popular rappers and street figures and uploading YouTube videos exposing them of dishonesty, cooperation with law enforcement, and criminal misconduct. Drake asserts that if he ever snitched, then his name would be found in court documents And an individual like 1090 Jake would have been exposing him for it. Except 1090 Jake has been exposing Rick Ross, which everybody knows, for things that Rick Ross has done as a corrections officer. So it is not that crazy to assume that 1090 Jake, being a white culture vulture himself in the rap scene, is probably on Drake's side on this argument. So his mention of 1090 Jake, in my opinion, is, not that significant. But what do I know? I'm not as dialed in I'm not as dialed into the Adam 22 orbit here. Okay. The streets would have me hiding out in a small town. My Montreal connects stand up and not fall down. Drake has his connections. Specifically, Canada has a significant Hells Angels presence. At the end of the music video for Drake's This Family Matters, he meets with with an alleged Hells Angels member, Andrew Kernew, who is Drake's neighbor. At least 1090 is actually from the set, unlike Adam and Drake. Okay. Remember you said you don't listen to music a couple years ago? You're not dialed in, bro. Yeah, I'm not dialed in. Except I at least understand all of these references because I love the fucking drama. Anyway. The ones you're getting your stories from, they're all clown. Here, like, let's just keep playing this.
Where's the proof of the trial then? Where's the paperwork of the cabinet is filed in? 1090 Jake would have took all the walls down. The streets would have had me hiding out in a small town. My Montreal connect stand up, not fall down.
Okay.
The ones that you getting your stories from, they all clowns. I am a war general, seasoned in preparation.
See, the thing I don't understand is, like, why is he saying that if his connects, and this is a cell phone here, if he has actual connects that he like worked it out with to feed false information to Kendrick Lamar, why the fuck's he calling them clowns now? I thought you were a war general and these were your actual fucking homies, your ride or dies, who's telling Kendrick false information, but now you're calling them clowns, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. Here, Drake then references both the fact that he's coming to beef well prepared, blah, 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 blah. Don't care about that line. Anyway.
Is covered in medals, honor, and decoration. You waited for this moment, overcome with the desperation. We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information.
So this part is the most devious part, in my opinion, on the entire track. Where he basically confirms the Drake Anon type suspicion that has been roaming the streets, specifically led by DJ Academics, Drake's #1 dick rider. The claim and the assertion that, like, the Ozempic script with his government name on it, the Maybach gloves and the shirt and all of that is actually was actually fed to the Kendrick team. Why did he do this? Maybe he wanted to play on on a playing field. He wanted to do new game plus difficulty. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, the greatest move to do is actually play checkers when your opponent is playing chess. Like, he is a master manipulator that fed Kendrick all this information that he himself was using Ozempic and all of these like receipts and whatnot. Specifically so that he could turn around and be like, lol, I got you. See, here's the thing. If this is real, okay? And I said this yesterday. If it's real, if Drake actually had a hidden mole, it's devious. It's devastatingly devious. And it calls into question Kendrick's credibility to a certain degree, for sure. Especially because he was horny to just like catch Drake on anything that he didn't, dot his I's and cross his T's, right? For sure. However, why the fuck wouldn't you just like come in with proof? Like expose who the leak was that Kendrick had in your team and like show up, post it up with them side by side, give him a bar. Take a photo, post it, and be like, yeah, that's your fucking mole, dumbass. This is my guy. We're laughing together right now, laughing at you. That, in my opinion, would have absolutely destroyed the conversation. That, in my opinion, would have absolutely changed the dynamic completely. But instead, my brother's dog is here, Fiona, and they're barking at each other. So what fucking... You would still spin it in another way, though? It would make it much harder for someone like myself to spin it in any direction. And especially considering that I'm also lending credibility to Drake's accusation or Drake's counter here. The fact that I'm already saying, like, there is a likelihood that this is real. Okay? There's a likelihood that this is real implies that I'm, you know, I'm legitimately saying that, like, there is a likelihood that this could be real instead of immediately going, it's not real. I also did personally think that it was weird because this is what I said yesterday. I will admit if Drake planned the mole, if the Drake planted mole is true, the daughter plan is both devastatingly devious while simultaneously a cell phone. Because why are you reminding everyone about the last time you were forced into a child reveal? It is weird, especially because your goal in any bout is to not only regalvanize support from inside of your fan base, but also to win over those who are maybe like me, you know, sometimes in the middle, sometimes just in it for the drama, sometimes don't care to dick ride one side or the other. Now, of course, my reasons for not being that big of a fan of Drake personally do not actually revolve around whether he was a deadbeat father to a second daughter or not. It more so revolves around gambling, his allegiances to stake.com, and also his overall gross, creepy behavior around minor women, minor girls. So there's that. I have time and time again said that, you know, Drake is a cornball. Who cares? He's fucking top 40 hit maker. That is, you know, I'm not going to like turn his shit off, right? So I don't give a fuck about this, but also I can't get enough of it. Thank you for going through it. Yeah. So now, I don't think Kendrick would risk his career on something this stupid. I mean, listen, people get passionate. Kendrick definitely despises Drake. And passion sometimes trumps, you know, critical thinking. Okay? Passion sometimes definitely has a capacity to trump critical thinking. So you can make questionable moves in a certain direction if you're motivated because you want to fucking cook his ass. So having said this, I am saying that there could be truth to this. But the reason why I don't think it is true is specifically because, like I mentioned already, it's weird to try and bait him in this direction. It's weird to try and bait him that he has an 11-year-old daughter, potentially. It's weird to try and bait him with the Ozempic drugs. It's weird to try and bait him with the Ambien. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense that he's like baiting him at the top of the hour and conveniently reminding everybody that there's a 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free. So there's a 3-minute ad break now. Bro read the Drake stance, conspiracy theories, and ran with it. Ain't no way. Yeah. Like I said, though, the goal overall in situations like this, okay, is specifically to win over the middle, people in the middle, and maybe even some from Kendrick's camp. If you want to do that, you got to put your best foot forward. And what your best foot forward in this circumstance would be to literally fucking show actual proof, because the mole is on your side, supposedly. Like, if you have a mole on your side, are you that stupid that you can't even fucking immediately retaliate? Because if you had the mole on your side, then you knew Kendrick's camp was going to quickly release a second one. And you should have released another fucking song being like, lol, we got you. I knew you were going to talk about the daughter. We baited you, dumbass. Instead, he waited a couple days and came out with this shit. So for me personally, and I will give you a better avenue of attack against Kendrick Lamar in a second that me and a friend of mine were talking about, that I think would have been a much better Kendrick Lamar avenue of attack, which would have even incorporated the R. Kelly stuff into it. But I will get to that in a second. I want to keep talking on this. Isn't he saying he's planting misinfo for the mole? Not that he has a mole, though. No, he's saying that Kendrick Lamar's mole inside of the OVO camp is actually not a mole at all. He's working for Drake, and then they gave him false information on purpose to run with it.
A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. We thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but you...
And no, Anaphase, the mole might not have been on Drake's side. He might have planted the info to find out who the mole is. Okay, but that doesn't mean anything, because then he wouldn't be rapping about this shit. He would be rapping about how we knew you had a mole on the inside. We gave him the fake information so we could out him. Here he is. This is his name. Fucking post this photo. You know what I mean? There's like so much more you could do if truly facts are on your side. Because remember, there's physical evidence on the Kendrick side. Okay? There's physical, and by the way, my mods arguing against me on an issue like this is perfectly valid, dumb fuck chatters. This is largely an inconsequential back and forth and drama that we are experiencing and we are appreciating. If you're taking it more serious than that, after a fucking long day of covering literal genocide, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, okay? That's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. It's a fake narrative. He's kind of saying both because it's not thought through theory. His own stories don't even add up bar for bar. So then, being fair, is Kendrick looked at poorly because of beating his wife? If we're taking everything everyone says is truth from both sides, I'm not defending Drake. More so just saying how petty this got on both sides. Drake's nasty, yes, but both seem to be bad after this. Like I mentioned on the Drake song, where he first accused Kendrick of domestically abusing his girlfriend. That is the only fucking aspect of this that is genuinely damning, that would damage Kendrick Lamar's reputation and would make me look at him differently. 100%. That is literally the only piece of information, which he has not obviously come forward with any kind of like truth or any kind of proof on. Whereas at least Kendrick does have some hard evidence, whether planted or not. Okay? So far, Kendrick at least has physical evidence that he can showcase, whereas Kendrick has physical evidence that he can showcase, whereas Drake does not have any kind of physical evidence that he has chosen to showcase at all, even though he's claiming he has physical evidence. If Kendrick Lamar was simply rapping about finding Drake's Ozempic script, okay, and he didn't show it, then it would be an entirely different conversation. Then we would both be going, okay, well, you know, Kendrick is just talking shit. We don't know if fucking Drake got an Ozempic script because we don't have physical proof. But Kendrick did actually come in with physical proof. Kendrick's fiance's brother has said he hasn't and has publicly been supporting him through the beef. Yeah. Bro, what do you mean he has a paternity test? Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing I was going to mention. We haven't gotten there yet, but he's like convinced of a paternity test in the form of an Instagram follow, which is wild. But it also goes, it also basically is reaffirming my position, at least, that like a lot of the Drake stans are still kind of stuck in high school in the way that they are operating, considering that like, considering that the relationship between two parents in either a co-parenting situation or rather like a fucking loving relationship where they're next to one another all the time is impossible to discern from following or not following someone's artist account. Kendrick Lamar isn't exactly a prolific tweeter. He is not necessarily ever on fucking Instagram or on any social media. He has an alt account too, but it's not like these are accounts that he's like prolifically posting on. And I feel like if he wanted to have a conversation with his baby mama, he probably would do it in person and offline rather than doing it over Instagram. Now that's a separate point. Let's keep going.
So thirsty, you not concerned with investigation. Instead, you in that Venice studio, it's a celebration. You gotta learn to fact check things and be less impatient. Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration. Even the picture you use, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation. Master manipulator, you bid on a speculation. You dumb and reactive, nigga, I'm petty with dedication.
Like, he should have fucking posted a video with this song where he's literally printing out the Ozempic printer. Like, where he's printing out the label for the Ozempic drug. And then it's like, it's over. How are you going to fucking, even if it's not real, even if he literally did, even if Kendrick actually really has a mole, what the fuck is Drake doing? Like, even that alone, even if Kendrick actually stole his Ozempic script, if Drake actually posted a video of him basically fucking printing out an Ozempic script with his name, okay, with his name on it, that would be at least more physical evidence. It's so weird. Show text between you and the mole. Take photo with the mole. Post it up, laughing. Anything like that. It really does seem like the info was bait. I doubt Drake's been hiding a daughter for 11 years. So that is the one thing I will say is that in the second response, Kendrick knew what Drake's song was going to be about and didn't actually mention the 11-year-old daughter at all, which does lend credence. The only thing that does lend credence to the idea that the 11-year-old daughter is on a like shaky ground as far as like a damning narrative. Okay. Then you'd argue it's just a video. Why are you fantasizing about what I would be fucking arguing? Why I'd be arguing on when I'm telling you what I think is like an infinitely more valid way to drive home a cohesive, coherent narrative that is like very hard to argue against. I'm literally fucking trying to explain to you what I personally think is better as far as like showing proof to people that would be on the edges. And you're over here being like, well, you would argue against that too. You don't know that. I'm literally telling you, especially because I'm also not immediately fucking attacking the idea that Drake planted a mole, but simply going through the details of it. Okay? It's so weird. Just debate what I'm saying now instead of the hypothetical me that you have hallucinated. $20v1, everyone against him. The most praised MC in hip hop circles of his generation, trying to end him, and Drake came out unscathed. Okay, unscathed. The only argument Drake stands have is to fantasize about hypotheticals. Yeah. Maybe that is his checkmate, and he don't care about what a couple days perception is. If that's his fucking checkmate, then he should have dropped it in here. Because right now, this didn't actually move a lot of people. It just gave Drake stands the confidence to chirp for a little bit. That's it. I don't think anyone who like thought that Drake was kind of a weirdo or a culture vulture or any number of different things has like moved in the opposite direction and went, damn, he really got K-Dot. It's over for him. With the exception of Drake stans, who now at least feel a little bit more confident to be like, well, let's debate ephebophilia actually, or what about the age of consent laws in EU? Are you calling all those people pedophiles? Like, that's the only thing that this has brought forward, a scourge upon this fucking community and every other community online, where Drake stands now feel incredibly confident and emboldened into fucking debating age of consent. Very odd. Anyway, what about the bones we dug up in the excavation?
What about the bones we dug up in that excavation? And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations?
This is something I also mentioned, that like the quickest way to destroy this narrative would be Kendrick Lamar's baby mama coming out in support of Kendrick Lamar, or even one singular photo from her. But it's also, once again, a person with children, totally valid for them not to want to be in the main stage of this conversation. These are whole ass adults, not entirely in the industry in and of itself. I get that part as well. Fiance. Drake stands coming in here very unprepared to debate a dude with a moral backbone. Yeah. So there is that. Toronto chatters on Suey Watches me. I'm Toronto chatter. Well, here's the thing. I want you guys to understand something. Very important. If you're a major Drake stan, if you're a major Drake rider, fear not. Drake is still going to make a shit ton of music. He's still going to inevitably, no matter what happens, if Pusha T can't destroy him with the first reveal of hiding a child, then the second reveal of hiding a potential second child is not going to fucking change much. He is going to be fine. And also, all of the pedo accusations, all of the grooming allegations, that doesn't really mean much either, because there isn't any new information that's being resurfaced in this conversation. And it's basically rehashing, or at least like collecting all of that into one fucking space that many people have been very upset about for some time. It's not like this is new. Drake's been doing this shit for quite some time. Okay? So if you're like truly worried that your icon is never going to make music again, fear not. I think that barring like some serious new conclusive evidence or anything like that, I don't think he will find legal scrutiny in any meaningful capacity. Not only that, but also there are plenty of people who have done this throughout their entire fucking careers, like R. Kelly, who literally went above and beyond in terms of grooming and other kinds of predatory behavior, and basically only at the tail end of their career, long after the peak of their career, did they actually withstand any kind of legal trouble. And there are still stans of R. Kelly out there regardless. Okay? Same with Chris Brown. So, you know, he will still make music. Okay? The situation for you will not be changing. I mean, it'll be harder to be like openly a Drake stan for a little bit, but that's it.
Why is she following Dave free and I miss the morale? You haven't seen the kids in 6 months, the distance is wild. Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child. Speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now. This Epstein angle was the shit I expect.
So here's a couple different things. Like he's still saying like Dave Free cucked you. You got cucked by Dave Free, who is in Kendrick's record label. Dave Free had sex with your fiance, and that's actually like, you know, ruining your relationship or whatever, which once again, absolutely PR defense, good job. You have no counter. So you're just simply saying PR defense, good job. I have been perfectly fair and balanced in this entire conversation, in this entire process. Like I repeated and reiterated, the only thing that actually calls into question what we think about Kendrick Lamar wouldn't even necessarily be his fiance potentially being fiance cheating on him. It would be the fact that he engaged in domestic abuse. Now, the other part of the conversation that's really important to understand is Kendrick Lamar did not say he's Epstein. Kendrick Lamar said he's Weinstein. Kendrick Lamar compared him to Weinstein. Drake is the one who's personally saying Epstein. Kendrick Lamar also never brought forward Millie Bobby Brown's name or invoked her in any meaningful capacity. Drake was the one who personally did that. which I find to be rather odd. Okay? Why are you so biased? You keep highlighting pro Kendrick comments and making an excuse for Kendrick. By the way, don't take this seriously. I just discovered Twitch and realized you were streaming for 6 hours, so I may have missed some things. Yes, I think so. I think you probably did miss some things. Anyway.
TikTok videos you collected and dissected instead of being on some.
Implying that like all the accusations of his improper dealings with women and grooming stuff actually are just TikTok stan videos, which I do personally think is yet another case of projection. Specifically because like I do think that this reads like a fucking fan retweet. Like this reads like a very well structured collection of tweets that DJ Academics has read over the course of the past 2 days on his stream from Drake stans. Basically, he's like, yeah, everything True Anon said, everything Drake Anon said about this process is real, actually. You don't even know it. Anyway.
Disdirect shit. You rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit. My mom came over today and I was like, mother,
And then this part is really fucking gross for many different reasons. This part is doubly gross. Did you cover the Rafah offensive? Yes, dude. Yes. For the past like 8 hours. Okay. Not 8 hours, but like for the past fucking 6 hours. Oh my God. Talked about already, but Israel starting a Rafah offensive. So rumors are here. I know, man. I know. I did. Now, there's a couple different parts about this that's like really interesting. It's fucked up for two different reasons. One. Oh yeah, here was the photo, by the way. Kendrick's childhood friend and manager Dave Free comment the heart emoji on an Instagram post of Kendrick's fiance Whitney Alford and the couple's children. This comment was also featured in the cover art. Okay. Drake's previously claimed that one of Kendrick's children's real dad was Dave Free on Family Matters. We already talked about that. The Epstein angle was the shit I expected. Oh, here, Mother I. So Drake here is referencing Mother I Sober by Kendrick Lamar, the 17th track on Lamar's 2022 release, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, where he delves into his sexual traumas. Family Times, they accused my cousin. Did he touch you, Kendrick? Never lied, but no one believed me when I said he didn't. As the quote implies, it should be noted that Kendrick makes it explicitly clear in the song that he wasn't molested. Regardless, Drake figures that Lamar is projecting his trauma when he accuses Drake of being a pedophile in his May 2024 diss tracks, Meet the Grams and Not Like Us. On the latter, he should have said certified lover boys, certified pedophiles, which was a bar. It was very good. Drake refusing to say sober may be him implying that the track was so boring that he can't remember the title or subtly playing into Lamar's allegation that Drake is a drug addict. So what I find to be really funny about this is that, one, he misunderstood the song. As far as I understand, it was actually Kendrick Lamar's mother who was molested. And on top of that, the song is about like intergenerational black trauma. And not only that, but also the song is about like his mother being overly cautious as a consequence of her own personal trauma, being molested herself. So what I found really strange about this, though, is that let's say that is what Kendrick said. Let's say Kendrick Lamar was molested as a child. Okay. How the fuck is that a good bar? You're literally saying, oh, you think I'm a pedophile because you caught me fucking texting minors, but that's because you were molested as a child and you're just real jumpy about that sort of thing? That's a fucking insane thing to say, bro. Like, I'm not even trying to be like, oh, I'm so woke or whatever the fuck. Like, it just genuinely doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense if Drake, it doesn't make sense if Drake was right and he actually was saying that, which he's not even saying that. So it's basically proving that Drake doesn't fucking have any media literacy in the same fucking genre that he's in. Supposedly that he's the GOAT in, as a matter of fact. Okay? But it makes no fucking sense that even if that was the case, even if Kendrick Lamar was like saying like he got molested as a child, which he didn't, what a fucking insane take. That's a Nas Ether bar. I feel like that it just, I don't understand it. Like, the whole point is that you're being accused of being a child abuser. Why the fuck would you literally retort with, I don't give a fuck about child abuse? Like, do you not get that? Like, you're basically undermining child molestation by being like, oh, you're seeing stuff because you were molested as a child, lol. Hold this L, Kendrick. The fuck? Yeah. It's a weird way. It's a weird way to be like, I'm not a pedophile, dude. You were molested when you were a child. That's why you're fucking mentally ill and think I am. I guess that's the type of bar that does appeal to the fucking Drake stands, though, because they've been riding that one. They didn't understand it. Anyway, did you see Drake's Shell Corp call silence policy? Yes, dude. He's a fucking omega billionaire. You guys are so dumb because you think like he's stupid enough to create a LLC dedicated to like silencing victims of Drake and call it silence policy. It's probably a fucking LLC among like 1,000 others that he has to purchase properties, dude. Like, this is the type of shit I'm talking about where like you don't have to fucking go QAnon style on the other direction. Like, yeah, dude. Yeah, Drake. Hey guys, did you see this? Drake started a new LLC. It's called Date Rape. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, HasanAbi like pointing out the rooms when Republicans are talking like Hitler. Exactly. It's like you don't have to look for additional symbolisms when there's like obvious stuff right in front of you. You know what I mean? Like, there's obvious shit that you can point to. There's no reason to fucking read the tea leaves in the same way that Drake stands are doing, okay? So, let's continue. So, he's saying, like, this is trauma for your own confessions. This is when your father leave you at home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with, it's excessive. This is Whitney's brother. Why would her brother support Kendrick if he's beat her and is a deadbeat to his kids? I highly doubt what Drake said is true. Oh, the Taylor Alfred point. Anyway. I mean, he might not know. He might be misogynistic himself. He might be a clout chaser. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, I think that part will... that part is a very quick allegation to dispel with like one photo. You know what I mean? Some shit like that. All right.
Mother, wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got molested. Oh, fuck me, I just made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions.
Dude, it's also so mid. I'm sorry. The lyricism on this is so fucking mid. If you think that this is anywhere near Kendrick Lamar level in any meaningful capacity, see yourself out of the fucking door. Not only does he lack the media criticism, the media literacy to fucking comprehend what the fuck what the fuck Kendrick Lamar was saying in his song. But beyond that, it's like, oh, this is trauma from your own confessions. This is about to get so depressing. It's like, dude, you are not deep, okay? You are very good, Drake, at doing, beats, okay? You're a hit maker. You are so fucking bad at being a lyricist. Like, it is so unimaginably bad, dude. Like, when I look at, with the exception of the last one, Mustard on the Beat one, which was like very obviously supposed to be a jam, right? When I look at all the other Kendrick tracks so far in the in his discography, in this iteration of the diss, there are like, there's not a second wasted in it, right? There's no like, there are rarely ever moments where he's like, I'm the GOAT, I'm so sick. Like, there are moments where he says like, you've pissed me off, I hate you, I hate your hair, blah blah blah. But even then, when he's saying like, I hate you, I hate the way you talk, I hate your hair, he's still making an inference to DMX saying that about Drake, right? Reiterating that like, people who are actually from this culture have despised them for quite some time. So like, there's not a single fucking moment wasted in any of Kendrick Lamar's bars. Whereas like, there's a lot of filler in Drake's retort where he tries to personally be like deep, but I think it fails to meet the level of depth that I would even expect from Drake. Okay. Also, Drake never portrayed himself as a good lyricist anyway. I know, but he's trying to do something where you have to kind of be a better lyricist, especially when you're going up against someone like Kendrick Lamar, who is a phenomenal lyricist, right? Like, this is like, I would go so far as to say that like his previous track was better than this one, the triple one, right? The triple track, like the 3 tracks in one with like beautiful cinematography, like that's very Drake. Well thought out. It still didn't meet, like it still didn't, defeat Kendrick Lamar in my opinion. I am biased as well, but the reality is like that was at least a bop that had like bop-like qualities, that had high elevated production as far as like the music video that he also fucking created all together. Like there was like forethought, right? There was a lot of care and consideration put into that track versus this one seems haphazardly put together in 2 days. And the unfortunate consequence of that is that it really shows where there's a lot of filler, where there are objectively lines in here where I'm like, did a fucking artificial intelligence bot write this? Like, did ChatGPT put these fucking pedophile lines in here? What is going on? I think that it's ironic to think about, but like when Kendrick said like, I don't like your tough guy act. I like when you make, I like when you sing melodies, was true. Like, it literally is better when he's doing melodic shit. It's better when he's trying to put together a fucking club beat. And when he tries to basically fucking do this rap battle beef retort, it comes across hollow. You know what I mean? It comes across as hollow. This is about to get so depressing. It's like, what do I mean by this? When Kendrick Lamar says, you're not fighting me, you're fighting a long, hard battle with yourself. That's actually, that actually is not only poetic, but it's actually, a bar, if you will. Whereas when he turns around and goes, oh, this is depressing, it's trauma for your own confessions, it comes across as not very substantive and very hollow, where he just like kind of tried to project to Kendrick Lamar what Kendrick Lamar was successfully doing to him. Okay?
Your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with, it's so excessive. They acting like it's so aggressive, but you just never known affection. I don't want to dish you anymore. This really got me.
Like this part, like, oh God, this is so cringe. I don't want to diss you anymore. This really got me second guessing. That part is unironically so fucking bad. Like, yeah, dude. And he keeps reiterating this over and over again throughout the song. It's like, I'm actually sad for you, Kendrick. I'm really sad for you. I really feel it. Like, oh man, this is like so traumatic for you, I bet. And it's like, It's like, bro, he called you a pedophile. He called you a pedophile both in like a song that is too ominous to play inside of nightclubs, and then called you a pedophile, doubled down on the pedophilia allegations in a song that DJ Mustard produced, which was automatically a club banger. So he did it in both ways, where he once showed you that he could do it in a lyrical way, and then also showed you that he could do it in a way where like people will repeat it, okay? So that in and of itself is just like, it's like when you have someone who is a specialist in one fighting, it's like a boxer showing you that he can also beat your ass with southpaw, like with his non-dominant hand, right? Like he gave you the dominant hand, and then he turned around and showed you he could beat your ass with his non-dominant hand as well. So in order for you to turn around and try to like compete in this field in your non-dominant hand, it's not great. It comes across as very hollow, in my opinion.
Second guessing. Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting. I never.
Yeah, so here he's talking about Kendrick's song Mother. I sober details of mother's experience with sexual abuse and affects his trauma and can have on a whole bloodline in the black community as a whole. And he's saying Touch My Body triggers Kendrick's indirect trauma of sexual abuse and is likely to start reminiscing as he did on Mother I Sober. And then more of the stop calling me a pedophile, please lines come in. And it's just fucking holy moly.
Never been with no one underage, but now I understand why that's the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected.
Before we sit on the absolute worst line, I think, ever in recorded rap music history. Okay? Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected, as in like, you know, I'm too respected, and that's why I'm disgusted by these accusations. Okay? You know what? Let's run it. Let's run it. Hold on.
I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested.
I'm not kidding. I feel like this one and Drake is never a name you'll see in sex offender lists. Literally, when I first heard it, I thought it's like AI bar. Like I thought like an AI sang that part of the song. I could not get myself to believe that Drake actually wrote these lines and sang them. Okay? Because obviously disproving an accusation is almost impossible. It is impossible, right? You can't disprove a negative. You can't, or sorry, not disprove a negative. You can't, like when someone says you're a pedophile, it's virtually impossible to disprove that technically, right? However, there is definitely a better way to go about it, especially because if I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. Like, I get what he's trying to say here. I think what he's trying to say is, like, obviously I'm too famous. Like, there's so many eyes on me, right? There's so many eyes on me. Like, how the fuck would I be able to get away with it? But it comes across like he's doing a O.J. Simpson style, if I did it, R. Kelly style, you know, R. Kelly had a similar lyric, I'm pretty sure, where he talked about his accusations as well. It's also really stupid because we're living in a post-Epstein, post-Weinstein, post-P. Diddy world where, like, famous people do actually do these things all the fucking time. As a matter of fact, you mostly know about famous people doing this kind of shit, where people sometimes think that it's only famous people doing this kind of shit and forget that, like, the fucking, you know, Catholic priest is also doing this kind of shit, but they're not famous, so it's not on top of mind for them. So that is a very weird, bar that I feel like is the possibly worst way to defend yourself. especially including that you brought up Michael Jackson numerous times in throughout your career as someone who you consider to be an idol of yours, and also even brought up Michael Jackson's allegations a little bit briefly in previous songs. So it makes it really weird. Bill Cosby is another example. I mean, there's a million examples, guys. Come on. So the idea that, like, if I was fucking your girls, I promise I'd be arrested is a horrible, horrible way to try and defend that shit. Okay? Also, not a great idea to put a bar that can be clipped like this. Yeah. It's true. There's also that reality.
I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested, but that's not the lesson.
I gotta pee again.
Clearly there's a deeper message. Deep cuts that never healed and how they got infected. Like if Dave really fucked your girl and got her pregnant. Talk about breeding resentment. Not sure how to ease the sentiment. The shit's too intimate. I'm praying you recover from both incidents. But you a piece of shit, so this shit really no coincidence. Drake is not a name that you gon' see on no sex offender list. Easy does it. You mentioned an A minor, but niggas gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it. You thought you left D flat, D major. I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross hair like that one flight from Malaysia. I'm your baby mama screensaver. Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Browns. I never look twice at no teenager. I'm a fucking hit maker, dawg, not a peacemaker. Yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber. Your ass in extreme danger. Stop buying views and buy comments. You may as well keep the paper. Shit you about to need for later. I give a fuck about your streaming data. You could drop 100 more records. I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe when you meet your maker. I don't wanna fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature. If you still bumping R. Kelly, you could thank the savior. Said if they deleted his music, then your music is going to a hypocrite. I don't understand why these people praise you. Sounding like.
So here's the thing that I wanted to mention. We're going to get to the R. Kelly stuff in a second. But I have to relitigate some of these incredible bars here. I'm sorry, I had to pee.
Got her pregnant, talk about breeding resentment. Not sure how the lesson. Clearly there's a deeper message. Deep cuts that never healed and how they got infected. Like if Dave really fucked your girl and got her pregnant. Talk about breeding resentment. Not sure how to ease the sentiment. The shit's too intimate. I'm praying you recover from both incidents. But you a piece of shit, so this shit really no coincidence. Drake is not a name that you gon' see on no sex offender list. Easy.
That line, this is the second worst line, I think, after the number one worst line of all time in a rap battle. Okay, one, because like Drake wouldn't be the name; it would be Aubrey Graham, because I don't think they put your moniker on the sex offender list. Secondly, it's a double negative, which is fine, I guess. Like, I mean, I'll give that to him. Okay. Secondly, it is a double negative, but that's also fine. I just don't really understand why he wrote this line again and then chose to read it and then had like none of his homies stop him and go, "Hey man, you probably shouldn't fucking say that. Like, you definitely should not." Drake, Aubrey, don't say this. Please don't fucking say this. You are taking the whole team down with you. Okay? And there's like one guy in the room that's the OVO mole that's like, "Nah, man, that shit's gas. Put that in there." Okay? Put that shit in there. It is gas. Yeah, no, Kendrick, he did. He literally, no, he's dumb enough that he posted. Yeah, no, he literally said Drake is not a name that you gonna see on no sex offender list. Yeah, I know it's crazy. I wrote it, and then he kind of ate it up. That's insane. That's like, how many people touch a song before shit like this gets released? Not one person in your group, in your close circle, like the producers weren't like, "What? I'm sorry, what did you say? You put this fucking line in here? That's crazy. Who cares, a double negative? You know what he meant? Yes, dumbass. That's why I said I don't really care that it's a double negative. I think it's funny, but it doesn't matter that it's a double negative. What? Why are you so fucking desperate to yell in this situation where like you're addressing shit that I'm also casting aside as insignificant moments after I called it inconsequential? Okay. Why, man? It's already out there and the whole world's accusing him of so. Okay, here's how you do it. Okay, are you ready? And I'm going to tie this to the R. Kelly shit. You could easily say, instead of talking about defending R. Kelly, instead of talking about Kendrick defending R. Kelly, he should have fucking said, you were right when you said what you said about R. Kelly, putting yourself in a tough position, tough predicament, because the sentiment behind it is that black men get treated differently by the record labels. Black men get treated differently in the media. R. Kelly did do that shit, and it was gross, and it was awful. But you were talking about the fact that there are many open pedophiles with open pedophilic fucking songs from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and onwards, okay, that do not get this level of scrutiny that R. Kelly got. And then he would have turned it around and been like, you're accusing another black man of fucking bullshit, me, Drake, without any care or consideration of what that does, because you're so horny to take me down because you're jealous that I'm more popular than you. That would have been an infinitely better way to basically deflect the fucking nuclear grenades that were being launched in his fucking direction, instead of just turning around and being like, Drake is not a name you go see on no sex offender list. He could have just simply said, you know, something along the lines of like, even go so far, and I think people would get mad at him for saying this too, but even going so far as saying that, like, you know what false accusations do in this industry. You know what false accusations is done historically. Why the fuck would you go along with false accusations like this? Shut the fuck up. I know that doesn't rhyme, but that's the fucking energy that it could have brought to the goddamn table, instead of, oh my God, stop saying you're not a songwriter. You guys are failing to understand what I'm saying. You're failing to understand what I'm saying here. I'm not saying those are the actual lyrics that he should be fucking that I'm ghostwriting for Drake. Oh my God. Fuck. Now, obviously, that still opens him up to a line of attack, because obviously one of the major criticisms against Drake is that he's never like actually stood for black people in any kind of revolutionary aspect, because he wants to be a commercial talent and he's always trying to not fuck it up, not fuck up the bag. But even in that circumstance, he could have at least like leaned into that direction and been like, you, especially in the way that it would have been portrayed to the culture as a whole, he could have just fucking turned around and been like, he could have turned around and said something along the lines of like, you're picking and choosing, you're going along with false accusations to smear a black man, whereas on the other hand, you're, exposing the double standard when it comes to R. Kelly. You hate cancel culture shit. Why the fuck are you trying to do cancel culture shit to me like you're some white 14-year-old teenager with a fucking Stan account? That way, he gets to bring the broader public sentiment on his side, because nobody likes that shit anyway. Okay? Nobody likes that shit anyway. And also simultaneously, like, even giving props to your enemy in this regard, while also deflecting the accusations without directly addressing them. Because these are not the people would have burned him for saying, yes, you were right to support R. Kelly. It would have been damning. You think that that's damning, but not this? Are you fucking insane? Drake dick riders can't even comprehend when I'm actually adequately defending him. I'm telling you, a valid avenue of deflecting without directly addressing it, so there aren't fucking bars like this one on his fucking song. And you dumb fucks in the Drake deriding camp are so fucking stupid that you don't even understand what I'm saying. Do you not understand? Oh. Anyway. Don't give him ideas, though. It'll get back to him and he'll use them. I mean, it's too late for him to use that anyway. Dude, you overestimate how the masses take lyrics in. They will be like pedo united. Brother, what are you talking about? Kendrick Lamar is defending it in that situation. Saying he's a hypocrite in that circumstance doesn't make any fucking sense. If he were to turn around and say, you put your record label on the line to expose a double standard that you're currently personally invested in when it's someone that you dislike because they're more popular than you, would have been a much better way to fucking defend against these allegations without writing lines such as the ones that I am showing you. Drake is not a name that you go see on No Sex Offender Lists is a fucking insane thing to say. It is an insane thing to say. Like, that's objectively an insane thing to fucking say. In a song, in a normal conversation, it's ridiculous. Obviously, you're put in a fucking weird situation, partially because you engage in weird actions. Okay? It is definitely one of your own making in many respects because you can't stop yourself from fucking hanging out with like teenagers over and over again. Let's continue.
He does it. You mentioned an A minor, but niggas gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it. You thought you
Anyway, that I don't really care that B sharp is not like a real note or whatever. There's no B note in the chromatic scale, nor there's a B chord. But it's not great when your dick writers are annotating and openly saying that that's not a real thing. Like, that's not great. Drake rebuttals this by asking Kendrick to be sharp and show proof of any wrongdoings. In written music, it's just standard practice to refer to B as just C. Though in some special cases, you may say B. This is due to enharmonic equivalence when two notes. It should also be noted that Drake plays the notes for the chords he mentions on a piano in the background. However, when he says A minor, he actually plays a G sharp, which is either a mistake or a direct rebuttal to the A minor quote above because he doesn't strike it. D here refers to Drake himself. Drake earlier used D on Family Matters. Drake is alluding to the fact that general perception after Meet the Grams and Not Like Us released on 24 hours apart that he conceded a big defeat. Drake is clear he isn't wavering yet and will reign supreme despite the general perception. This was good. Once again, one of his best lines actually comes in the form of not a rebuttal towards Kendrick Lamar, but instead towards Rick Ross once again.
You left D flat, D major. I'll slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross hair like that one flight from Malaysia. I'm your baby mama screensaver. Only
that part is actually pretty funny and pretty good overall. As you guys know, Rick Ross's private jet had to do a fucking landing and barely came out of it unscathed. He says he's gonna fucking Air Malaysia the Kendrick Lamar flights, which I thought was pretty good. But once again, ironic because the best fucking line still is against motherfucking Rick Ross. Another critical hit on Rick Ross. Anyway, I'm your baby mama's screensaver. The baby mama in question is Whitney Alford, Lamar's high school sweetheart. Interestingly, Drake used baby mama as opposed to the more accurate label of fiance. He may be implying here, blah, 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 blah. He did what I also claimed he was going to do, which is like, what's he going to do? Be like, Whitney, I'll save you. Like, I will fuck you. That is the only thing that tracks with Drake, is that he is a consistent, habitual stealer of people's girlfriends, which people might think is cool, but obviously breeds a shit ton of resentment. And also does show that you're kind of a piece of shit. People from the outside, you know, Drake writers will personally think that that's a cool thing, But in the real world, that actually is not a cool thing at all. And people will absolutely be fucking annoyed with you and think that that is indicative of your stupid ass fucking behavior and bad personality overall. Why do I think this? Well, the proof's in the pudding. He has a long list of grievances, specifically towards the women, not usually even towards the men who he has like broken up people's relationships with, but also mostly towards the women for making the false choice of not maintaining a relationship with Drake and instead going and like hooking up with or dating or marrying Alexis Ohanian, like the Reddit example, or ASAP Rocky with Rihanna. It is wild. Only fucking with Whitney's and not Millie Bobby Brown's, like he said here.
Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's.
That's insane. Once again, ain't nobody brought up Millie Bobby Brown, bro. You did it yourself. Hey guys, I'm gonna randomly bring up a girl that I have been in contact with as a 13-year-old is a very weird thing to say in the rap diss. It's something that it would be more valid if Kendrick Lamar had brought it up, but you fucking brought it up. This is the second time he has brought her up, as a matter of fact. Brown was at age 14 at the time, interview prompting many to accuse Drake of grooming her. Drake laughed at these allegations on his Another Late Night from his 2023 release For All the Boys. Weirdos in my comments talking about some Millie Bobby. Look, bring them jokes up to the gang. We get to really flocking, which, is odd. Should be noted that the actual controversial video of Drake kissing and caressing a 17-year-old girl on stage during a May 2010 concert muddies the validity of his claim that he never looks twice at a teenager. Oh my God. He's getting fucking owned in the annotations before he even got started. That's crazy.
I never looked twice at no teenager.
Yeah, he did look twice at a teenager in 2010 at a concert. Verse 2 line. Okay, dude, stop. We know high school pics, you was even bad then, okay? Yes, we know. It's the famous line that is a classic. It's classic. Classic Drake. Come on, you guys know this line already. This is like part of the reason why everybody fucking clowns on him for being a weirdo. All right, let's continue.
I'm a fucking hit maker, dog, not a peacemaker. Yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber. Your ass in extreme danger. Stop buying views and...
This, again, is such a funny... This literally is just straight up, and I mean straight the fuck up, literally projection. Why is he doing this? Okay? Stop buying views and bot comments. You're the one who's buying views after he was accused of botting, which I didn't even like think about it being Drake. But the irony is, what if the irony is that I didn't even fucking know about the bot situation. Like, I knew that the bots were like a menace on Twitter. Okay. I knew that the bots were a menace on Twitter, like with the Pusha T stuff. And the bots almost always fucking seem to slander whoever the fuck Drake is beefing with. Now, they might not be directed by Drake himself, but it lends credence to the idea that like it's someone from his camp doing it, someone who is a fan of his doing it. Anyway, once again, no, not Millie Bobby Brown's. Weird thing to mention yourself. Also self-owned there with the I never looked twice at no teenager. I'm a hit maker, not a peacemaker. Bullet stuffing in the chamber. Your ass is in extreme danger. Stop views and bot comments. You might as well keep the paper. This again, self-own. Here is why.
Bot comments, you may as well keep the paper. Shit you about to need for later.
It shows that he has actually seen that Drake. It shows that he has actually seen that Kendrick Lamar is out streaming him, and it very obviously hurts his feelings. Like, it's weird to bring up the fact that you're getting outstreamed by someone who you are supposed to be outstreaming any day of the fucking week as like one of the most popular artists in this genre and across the board. I don't even care about how well you're fucking out competing me is, once again, a self-own.
I give a fuck about your streaming data. You could drop 100 more records. I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe when you meet your maker. I don't want to fight with a woman.
Yeah. Another cell phone is about to come here as well. Oh, I just you could drop 100 more records. I'll see you later.
It feeds your nature. If you still
I don't want to fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature. Literally, one, defended Tory Lanez. Two, why are you calling yourself a woman? Here, Drake implies that beefing by Kendrick, he's feeding his opponent's aggressive nature, the same aggressive nature that may have led him to abuse his fiance. I don't want to fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature. Quite literally implies that Drake sees himself as a woman. Drake is also friends with Chris Brown. Peace. And has defended has attacked Megan Thee Stallion unprompted and has defended Tory Lanez as well. But yeah, and then we come to the R. Kelly line.
Kelly, you could thank the savior. Said if they
talking about Drake brings up the controversial stance Kendrick Lamar took in June 2018 after Spotify removed XXXTentacion and R. Kelly songs from their playlist. Kendrick stood in defense of X and R. Kelly, and Kendrick even threatened to pull his own music from Spotify if their actions continued. Drake implies that Kendrick is a hypocrite for defending one pedophile, R. Kelly, and a domestic abuser, XXXTentacion, but wants to fully call out and wish death upon an alleged pedophile, Drake. In this line also refers to Savior on the 14th song for Kendrick's album, a song where Kendrick says that whoever people idolize are just humans and are not gods that are always right and perfect. Now, I mentioned the R. Kelly retort that Drake could engage in on his camp. Okay. Once again, the meta commentary, I haven't seen anyone defend Kendrick woman beating allegations because K-Dot fans aren't fucking crazy. I'm sure there's crazy ones in his fandom as well, certainly. But like, I myself find myself more on the side of Kendrick Lamar in this instance, but I think I'm pretty reasonable in the sense that like, it's fucking it's ridiculous. If that is real, then yeah, no, that I think calls into question his behavior and also things that we know about Kendrick Lamar in general. Having said that, however, Kendrick Lamar's controversial stance on the R. Kelly thing is still, why are you stuttering? I'm not. What do you have to fantasize about like me potentially being like genuinely invested in defending Kendrick Lamar for yourself to feel like there's the ulterior motive right there? Like there's got to be an ulterior motive that he's like attacking Drake. And it must be that like I'm defending Kendrick Lamar and I'm having a hard fucking time defending him right now because I love him so much. Especially while I was simultaneously in the process of serving you the top of the hour ad break, which comes at the top of every hour, by the way. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free. It's not even an ulterior motive that I'm not exactly fond of Drake. I've maintained that I am biased in that regard from the jump. Okay? From the jump. Here's a 3-minute ad break now. By the way, you should defend against that by subscribing for $5 or for free. You don't have to love Kendrick to hate Drake, and they can't understand that. Yeah, there's that as well. So, as far as the R. Kelly stuff goes, like I mentioned before, I think that it's whack to even take a stance on it. I understand what he was saying in terms of like all these white pedophilic artists that never get that same level of scrutiny. White artists that have done a shit ton worse things than even XXXTentacion at much later ages in their lives. This does not defend XXXTentacion, nor does it defend R. Kelly. I think that they are both, they've both done unimaginably awful things to varying degrees in their own personal lives. Okay. This is not a defense of that at all. Like who? Every single rock and roll star has at least one song that is a fucking triple platinum super hit that your mom and dad still sing along to, that is directly about fucking a 14-year-old. Okay? Like literally all of them. They have also simultaneously either done that in their personal lives and are known to have done that in their personal lives, except you could just go back and say, oh, is it a different time back then? It was a different time back then. People were doing pedophilia all the time, so it doesn't matter. That type of shit. Okay? Yeah, 11 rock stars that allegedly slept with underage girls from the Phoenix New Times. Yeah, she's only 17. There's an entire song that they listen to all the time with the chorus, she's only 17, if you know what I mean. So that's important to recognize as well. The song Sweet Caroline is literally about JFK's, at the time, 12-year-old daughter. Just something to remember. Something to consider. Talking about the mistreatment, of or the double standard between black artists and white artists in that regard is still a position that I would not take in this situation. Okay. But make no mistake, that double standard is definitely very real. Okay. Anyway, the counter to this in the way that Drake delivered it from Kendrick would be, of course, you don't give a shit about, white artists doing this kind of stuff, and you only fucking care about it when a black artist is about to be in the crosshairs of the music industry or the crosshairs of everyone else that has like abused him his entire life, exploited him his entire life. Even though here's one aspect that people don't understand, I think. And we briefly alluded to this or talked about this with Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez, I think he's in prison now, but he was on his way to prison. And he dropped an album right before he did that, right before he went to prison. The question is, why? Okay? If you're even a little bit aware of how this stuff works, and some people brought it up at the time, while he is someone who obviously shot Megan Thee Stallion, the reason why he dropped an album before he went to prison is not to make money for himself personally. It's to make sure that his family is well taken care of while you're currently serving a 10-year sentence. So the entire point of this kind of conversation, the entire reason why artists in general would want to ensure that that it's not just like that their legacy lives on, but more so that like their family still has a lifeline, so that the people that rely on them in their vicinity, in their immediate vicinity, their friends and family members that they actually take care of, can continue to have someone take care of them. The industry continues to churn out money for them. So taking that away from them is definitely something that, at least from the outside looking in, we look at it and we're like, well, what the fuck are they doing? That's weird. Why would you defend that? However, frankly, I think it's disgusting that you have been talking about this. This is in your lane. You shouldn't be profited off of two black men sorting out racial matters in the POC community. Didn't I already run the top of the hour ad break? Or did I forget to run it? No, I ran it already. The fuck are you saying? Yeah, exactly. I already ran it. You're fucking 5 minutes late, bitch. So, anyway. So that's why Kendrick Lamar's retort, because of the way that Drake dropped this, Kendrick Lamar's retort to this will be easy, where he can say, yes, it's not something you would understand because you've never been a part of the culture and you don't care about, defending the family members of artists that have done horrifying things, nor do you care about the double standard that white commercially successful artists never even reach the level of scrutiny that black commercial artists do. So that's something that he can basically hit on to reinforce the idea that Drake is a culture vulture who doesn't understand half the things that he's talking about. So that's definitely, like I said, something that he can retort with, even though I think that Drake could have hit him with the R. Kelly line in a different way, like I mentioned earlier, even though the Drake writers didn't even understand that I was giving Drake a line of defense that I think would have been better as a perfectly better way to deflect, or to at least to neutralize the nuke launched in his direction, instead of saying the lines he said about how Drake is not a name you'll see on a sex offender list. I don't understand why these people praise you. Sounded like you sent him commissary when you need some paper. A commissary in this case is a store or restaurant that sells food. It also refers to the currency used in exchange for these goods. Drake entertains the likelihood that Kendrick will put money on R. Kelly's books in order for him to spend it on a commissary. Anyway.
Leader, his music and your music is going to a hypocrite. I don't understand why these people praise you. Sounding like you sent him commissary when he needs some paper. Album dropping soon. No wonder you turn a clout chaser instead of doing hard labor. Nigga, I see you when I see you, like Fantasia and Whitney. You can hit me if you need a favor.
Remember what I said? Commissaries for jail. Yeah, I know. He's implying that like he's giving money to R. Kelly in jail. Like I said, he then goes back. Wait, what is it? Fantasia, R&B singer Actasia. When I see you, and Whitney, you can hit me if you need a favor. If you recall, I literally fucking said earlier, like, what's Drake gonna do? You know what I mean? Kendrick Lamar can hit him on like all these other open avenues. Drake's only response would be like, Whitney, hit me up, I'll fuck you, and then pull out the slinky. Okay? Like, just hit him with the, yeah, see? Whitney, come on, please. Kendrick Lamar is short. Look at the slinky. Yeah, BBL Drizzy. So he does do that. He literally does that. It's so fucking predictable that a dude who like self-described does not listen to music and figure that out like 2 steps ahead of time. Holy shit. Once again, I do not listen to music. Okay? I do not listen to music. If I could fucking figure out that he was going to do this 3 songs ago, then goddamn, son, what the fuck are you doing? Maybe Kendrick Lamar was right. Maybe you are very predictable. Anyway. Yeah, he says you can hit me, and then when I say hit you back, it's a lot safer, which again, like, dude, it's like a 14-year-old wrote these lines. Like, what the fuck? Like, when I hit you back, it's a lot safer. Like, I won't hit you like Kendrick Lamar did. That's great, man. Come on, that's a bar, Hasan. Are you 14? Brother, I verbatim said this. I verbatim said that he was going to say this 2 songs ago. Okay? As a joke. What is this?
Lyle, wake up! You gotta wake up, please!
Lyle, turn on the TV! They hit the Pentagon! They hit the fucking Pentagon!
Literally the best bar in the song. Bro, come on. Come on. You know, Drake was in there like, oh, dude, fuck yeah, this shit goes hard. Okay. Drake wanted to keep it PG so his girlfriends could listen. Jesus Christ. If Kendrick said you'd be dick riding, defending every Kendrick diss has been predictable to people 1 month ago, already knew his final diss nuke would be just calling Drake a pedo over and over again. Wait. If Kendrick said it, you'd be dick riding. Also, every Kendrick diss has been predictable to people 1 month ago, already knew his final diss nuke would be just calling Drake pedo over and over again. Yeah, no, that part is definitely very predictable. And also, I said those things as well, that Drake has a shit ton of avenues of attack, including being called a fucking pedophile over and over again. I mentioned that as well. Notice how I think that it's like wild that he was, you know, openly posting that shit and saying it over and over again, both in a lyrical fashion, that was in an ominous song, but also as a club hit. But I'm not saying that like those lines are fucking bars in and of itself. Those aren't the actual lyrical aspects of Kendrick's penmanship. Okay. I don't know. The A minor line was godlike. I think the A minor line was good, except, you know, as Ludwig also pointed out, you know, his Bo Burnham made that joke as well. It's not like that part is not that hard, to be fair.
And when I say I hit your back, it's a lot safer. I promise. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, this shit was
And then he just like stops rapping and just does full blown copium. Yeah, the A minor thing is the old joke. You literally freaked out over that line when you first heard it. I agree. And then I listened to it again, and I'm saying that like it is a meme that has existed. The delivery was great. Most of Kendrick Lamar's delivery is very good. Like certified lover boy, certified pedophile. That in and of itself is not like a fucking phenomenal bar at all, but it is an absolute banger that exists in my mind for two reasons. One, because the delivery is incredible, and two, it's on a DJ Mustard beat, which means that like people are going to be singing it in nightclubs, and it will be getting replayed over and over again. Like, think about that. It's not exact. He didn't say anything fucking crazy. He says certified lover boy, certified pedophile, certified lover boy, certified pedophile. I've literally been saying it to myself over and over again since I heard it. It's not like lyrically a phenomenal fucking thing that he mentioned. There aren't like there aren't quintuple entendres in that song as much. It's just very satisfying to hear. He has made OV Ho and certified lover boy, certified pedophile into an earworm, which in and of itself is pretty fucking damning, especially considering that it comes after all of the other ominous shit.
Some good exercise. Like, it's good to get out, get the pen working.
He's like, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm not even sweating it, dude, that you called me certified lover boy, certified pedophile. That shit, that just washed over me, dude. Fuck. Oh, whatever, dude. Yeah, fuck. Oh, man. I just don't even care, really. It's not a big deal to me at all. I'm not mad. You're mad.
You would be a worthy competitor if I was really a predator and you weren't fucking.
Once again, wild thing to say. Should not have said that. Okay, that's a weird, like, don't entertain the idea, Drake. Don't do it. I just don't understand why no one in his circle is like, bro, stop saying you're a predator. Okay? Stop saying you're a predator over and over again. Like, you have to be able to, no, don't say he has to address it, bro. He does. Not like this. I'm telling you, you cannot directly address it. You cannot directly address it. Drake fans literally do not understand. They fall asleep when they hear that something might be a double entendre, unless it's Drake actually making a really shitty fucking lyrical masterpiece in the form of like, oh, if I hit you, it won't hurt. Because get it? Because Kendrick is a wife beater. Like, no, you don't directly address it. You're stupid. You definitely have to address it. You don't directly address it by saying Drake's name will never be on the sex offender list. Okay? That is insane. That is an insane way to address it. Holy fuck. Drake is already in a hard situation with addressing this kind of stuff. Okay? Yeah, Marhan said he's in a hard situation with his emotions. Drake's already in a hard place to address this kind of stuff because these has been building up for years and years, and not like no one has like ever actively compiled it together and so aggressively repeated it over and over again. But like, after all these years, you really thought he would have at least had some ghostwriters like put accidental bars in there somewhere that he could just like bring to the table. You know what I mean? How are you going to expect that like no one, and I mean no one, is going to consistently hit you on this shit if you ever get into a diss track style situation, that you should have had like a legitimate counter to it without like actively addressing it by putting your fucking name next to the words sex offender and pedophile. Demi, oh yeah, we'll watch this in a second. Hold on. Let me just wrap this up.
Lying to every blogger and
yeah, you weren't fucking lying to every blogger and every editor. Again, projection. Drake literally hit up Kai Cenat. Drake literally fucking hits up and literally looks for homies that will defend him in like all the kick streamers, Aiden Ross, and all these other fucking people. Drake literally fucking has DJ Academics on the line, openly feeding him information. It's wild. It's fucking wild. Chat is over. Hasi is Fantano pilled. Wait, what do you mean? That's why I said he should have said between you and I'm about to take you down like XXX Tentacion for the same crimes or something like that. Anyway,
editor, but it is what it is. You definitely got this shit burnt the fuck out though. Like, you got 10 more records to drop.
He's a Drake writer and saying you're copying Fantano, saying that DJ Academics is directly communicating with motherfucking Drake is not a Fantano revelation. You do not need to be the internet's busiest music nerd to know that. You can be a guy who doesn't listen to music at all, me, and still know that. He should have never done the talking part on this either. God damn, this shit is so lame.
The one before the last one, we finessed you into telling a story that doesn't even exist. And then you go and drop the West Coast one and try and cover that up. I would like that one. That would be some shit I could dance to if he wasn't tripling down on some whole other bullshit, but
yeah, I would dance to the music. That actually was really good. You bested me on that one. Problem is, like, you just kept calling me a pedophile, so I can't really dance to it.
You know, at least your fans are getting some raps out of you. I'm happy I can motivate you.
Yeah, I did it. I did it. I got you to write a lot of really good songs, mostly calling me a sex offender and all of my friends sex offenders. That part, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sweating it at all.
Bring you back to the game, like, you know, but just let me know when we're getting to the facts. Everything in my shit is facts. I'm waiting on you to return the favor, like.
It's just funny. Catch Drake getting a little too excited at the club and singing the certified pedophile line on accident. Yeah. Anyway, it's bro is motivating Kendrick like a pinata motivates the birthday girl, boy, and MB. It's true. Drake writing this part like a Redditor.
I'm not gonna lie, this shit was some good exercise. Like, it's good to get out, get the pen working. You would be a worthy competitor if I was really a predator.
Oh, that's so good. Can we do the white thing to do and talk about rap battle and review EM Killshot that obliterated MGK rap? No, we're not doing that. I don't care about Eminem and MGK. Come on, bro. Nicki did this exact same whisper mumble outro when she lost her beef to Megan as well. Oh my God. That's true.